All right, there's round 13. You can put a, what do you like to say, Brian, a bow through it?
I like to put a bow through it just to make sure it doesn't fall off. What do you like to do? You like to put it on top.
Wrap around it.
No, you don't. You say let's put a bow on it.
Let's put a bow on it.
Yeah, I say I put a bow through it. I feel that mine is more secure.
Yes.
I'm actually helping.
Yeah,
you're hindering.
Yeah, I'm just sort of on there, aren't I?
You're just sitting on there. Yeah. I could easily fall off. Where mine's going through it.
That's exactly right. Raiders are going through this competition at a rate of knots. 26 points to 24. Roosters look to though, geez, they've had some narrow losses, which may hurt them towards the end of the year. This Raiders side, for those buy point subscribers, they're running second. For those who don't subscribe to the buy, they're running first.
Yep. They haven't even had a buy yet, which is another ludicrous sort of thing. How can some clubs have two?
It's ridiculous.
How
come those boffins
over in Canada
keep getting the gig? You know the worst one is, right, and we'll get to this later, but the worst one is we've got a team playing in Perth and then coming back to play in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That is seriously ridiculous.
Or could they not just go, righto, everyone plays each other once, which is obvious, and then we'll send you over to the Boffins.
Correct.
Let the NRL do their bit.
Correct.
Until round 16, and then go, all right, now we might need you, Boffin.
Thank you. Or even just say to the Boffins, the first part of this draw needs to be everyone playing each other once. Then part two of the Boffin.
Then you do your Boffinosa.
Oh, Boffinosa. Anyway, Raiders, we know they're legit, right? They are absolutely legit. Corey Horsburgh, did he do enough? Has he done enough to put himself in the frame?
Yeah, I feel he has. They need something a little bit different in that Queensland side. They need points. He can create stuff. Just don't let him kick.
Yeah, that's right.
Roosters again. I thought they were the best team. Their errors are just killing, but the errors have killed them for the last 4 or 5 years. I love Marky Mark, and I know he's a terrific player, but they're targeting him now, and he needs to get better under that high ball.
Yep,
that's simple as that. Like I know he can score tries out of nothing, but he puts his team under a lot of pressure with that drop ball. And I know they're obviously working on it, but
hybrid.
Well, no, he can catch. I've seen him take screamers, but for whatever reason, I think he's got the yips a little bit. But in saying that, the Canberra Raiders, I thought when Fogarty went down, I thought, this is a chance for the Chooks to sneak in, sneak further up the ladder. And they were going so well, but I thought young Sanders was very good.
Okay, well, speaking about Sanders, SEN had the call, and Raiders halfback, the young fella Sanders, he spoke to Timmy Manor on SEN League's coverage last night. Here's what he had to say on his first game in the NRL playing for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was unreal. Had to be patient to wait, but been learning heaps off Jamal, so just happy to get the opportunity.
How did it feel the first half not getting the points and the second half seeing the points come?
I'll take a bit of responsibility for that. I reckon we were a bit sideways. Just went away from the game plan a little bit. We were planning to go through them and sort of just got a bit trigger happy and went around, so I'll take responsibility for that.
That's pretty mature.
We've had Ricky on a couple of weeks ago with the Jamal thing, and we said to Rick, "Are you going to throw Sanders in next year?" He says, "Nah, I don't think he's ready, but this might change his tune."
Well, Ricky said, and this is very true, you would have seen players, Brian, who played reserve grade, and you thought, I'll give you an example. He was always a very good player. Bengalir, right? He was always a very good player, but without being noticed so much. But some players, when they go up to first grade, they elevate. Other players go the other way. They might have been Spruik kids the whole way through.
Yeah.
But when you get them into that first grade furnace, now they asked Ricky Stewart about Ethan Sanders. He said, well, I saw something tonight that you just can't see until you see it.
Right.
Which is playing in the furnace.
Yep.
He said you can do all these contacts.
We call that the Deborah Lee.
You don't know until you see him in the Deborah Lee.
That's right.
That's right, Brian.
Will that change his mind? I know it's one game. It's quite easy to get up for one game.
Yes.
The challenge is to put those back to back and when you're under pressure. Because you always go to your halfback. Unfortunately, it's a position where they do get the plaudits and they get the big money, but when it comes to losses, they're the first ones. And Ricky's quite hard on his halfbacks.
Yep.
I've seen it firsthand.
So,
So, we'd make errors and he'd blame Wingy.
Oh, really?
we wouldn't stand up. Yeah, you're right, Stick. Go on, Wingy, get better.
Now, Brian, you think you've seen everything in rugby league, right? You really do. But something always comes up every year to surprise you. Daniel Tupu.
Yeah. That
What was peppy?
I don't know. I don't know whether he thought, like, obviously he thought, was it going to be a double movement?
Yeah.
But maybe he didn't feel that someone was on his end of his legs. Or
You can
maybe,
understand how he feels. Like, he is on the ground.
He got
and
yeah.
They've skated on him.
They've skated on him, so he wasn't aware of
No.
what to do. But thank God that it was like under eights.
It was.
You know, when the referee goes, get up, son. You can
Get
run.
up.
Or the coach is behind you going, come on.
The best of all time, still. Similar scenario, but didn't have the same result. Remember when the Dolphins, I think they were playing the Titans,
Yeah.
and Robert Jennings gets the ball at that time.
Yep.
It's impossible not to score. He gets
Me-
shot by a sniper.
Yep. Meet George Jennings. That was the game.
Janie's friend.
That was the game.
Janie's wife.
That they were getting pumped.
Yeah.
And then I think Jared Wallace came on and went berserk.
Yep.
Scott scored a try late on about 3.
Against the Old Firm.
And that was, they ended up winning the game.
They did.
But that was very important time of the game. And he trips out, he just lays there. It's on his back like he's a cockroach. and Jerry Marshall King, I remember, because I think I've had a bet. I think I was on the Dolphins, so I was screaming at the TV. And Jerry Marshall King extending over because he was dummy half, going, get up,
Yeah.
get up. And he just laid there.
He almost did a one-on-one strip on his own player.
Yeah, so and by the time he got up, they grabbed him. But, yeah, it was very, very odd.
Warriors 36 defeat the Rabbitohs 30. Metcalf again. Is this bloke going to win the Dally M, Brian?
I hope so. I got a stat for you.
Yep.
I don't have a stat, sorry. I need someone to tell me. Which player has won the Dally M with the least amount of first-grade games? Who would that be?
I think I know the answer to that.
Is it Mick Potter?
No, I reckon it's Brandy.
Okay.
You could be right.
I don't know. I don't know who it is, but
You could be right. But there was a player who I was looking at for the same thing. I think it's Brandy.
right.
With 30-odd or 40-odd games.
How many's?
But it could be Potter. I'm not sure.
How many has Lukey Metcalf played?
We'll find out. We'll find out, tourists. We'll find out about that. That's a very good question, though, Brian.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Over 340 metres. Over 340 for Chance Nickel Klukstar.
Chance was great. It was. I mean, it was that period where the bunnies just sort of lost concentration and they went bang, 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 and then Latrell decided to just go berserk.
Yep.
They had this little play that he scored. No one was stopping him.
No.
And
Who, Latrell?
Latrell.
Yeah, on the left.
Yeah, it was a little block play.
Yeah.
He got the ball and he ran. It was about 5 minutes
Quick enough
out.
play the ball.
Quick enough. Well, he just came swooping around. It's a great play.
Yep.
It's a great play, and if they keep doing it, he's going to score more often than not. Because usually on that side is going to be a
If you get the ball
half.
to run off often enough.
Yeah, ran off. And he just put his head down, But Warriors, the kicking game was a bit more superior, I feel, to the Bunnies. And they're like the Raiders.
Who there is in Rabbits or Warriors?
Warriors,
Yep.
like the Raiders, where they're starting to believe that they deserve to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel that
100%.
they're playing tough. And now
What about Vaimonga and
Demetric.
Halasima?
What about Imperial?
Oh,
He was outstanding.
wasn't he? Demetric.
Yeah.
Imperial.
Imperial's just got offloads just left, right, and centre. We know they've got that.
Yeah.
Like,
Imperial.
when we think of the Warriors, we think of the offload game back from the Ali Lauatides and Jerry Sius.
That's one of your best.
Then they got
ones.
Imperial just coming on. And like Halasima,
Yep.
Demetric, all of them.
Oh, mate. There was some good and bad news in this game. I mean, Alex Johnston, this is quite serious, big, 200 premiership tries. So this game's been running around since 1908.
Oh, it's so good.
And he becomes the second player of all time
Yep.
to do it. And Wayne Bennett was interviewed after the game, and he doesn't say too much, Wayne, but he kind of said, like, yeah, he's athletic, but he just knows. He just knows what to do and how to get it done.
And he should thank Wayne if he breaks this record because he was gone.
Yep.
The former administration wanted him gone.
Who would be the first person he gave a medal to? Cody's got to be the first person.
Okay, yeah.
Wayne's got to be there. Latrell's now going to be there.
But he got the 3. I hope he gets it this year. He's off contract this year. I feel that Wayne would sign him again just for the fact to do this.
He's got to get 12.
Yeah, we've got to get through the weekend.
Yeah.
Cody comes back. Jack Whiten comes back on that left side.
Yeah.
That is back to full potency.
Yeah, 100%.
And then Latrell out the back.
I was looking at the top try scorers, and he's down there on 5 tries, and you see all the other ones. 5 tries from 11 games, 6 tries from 10 games. He's 5 from 4.
Yeah.
Just-
And he outran Roger too. I know they're elder statesmen, but I thought, he's had the Achilles injury. Is he going to be as quick as he was? But nah, he was great. So fingers crossed we can get it this year. We can see it this year.
Yep, the fog's coming up. Not the former Origin great, the father of George. That is Shawnee Omrod from Sportsbet. He's going to join us. Before we go to the break, Brian, Mitch Barnett, suspected ACL injury.
Oh, it's shocking, isn't it?
Shocking.
And he's a bit older now, isn't he?
Yep.
Would he be 32, 30?
Yep.
32?
Oh, would he be that old?
How was Mitch Barnett, please?
31.
31.
Early 30s anyway.
Okay, when's he turning 32, though, tourist?
15th of April.
Oh, he's an Aries like me.
Awaiting scans for him, so
Bruce.
hopefully it's not the worst. 1300-01-1170. You can catch the run home on YouTube every night. Get the best bits. Wave Brian to the YouTube people.
Birthday, Bruce.
There we go. Inside the studio every night at 7:30 p.m. Seagull. How do you pick this? Seriously. What's Pepe Le Pewing at the Broncos? Seagulls 34 defeat the Broncos 6. In the same week, the great Madge Maguire has watched Laurie Daly and co. have great success at the New South Wales side, and he's dealing with this. Do you reckon he's getting double the pay to do what he's doing with the Broncos?
Triple.
Triple the pay.
I'll say triple the pay.
Triple the pay.
Yeah.
But with a lot more work.
Yes. I saw him on Friday.
Yeah,
I saw him
he's
on
a good bloke, Madge.
Yeah, he's a champion.
Yeah.
And the rhetoric
Yep.
going around saying the players, good word. Did you like that one? Didn't know what that meant last week. I just pinched it. Oh, Brooksy's just given me the thing. Saying that, he trains them too hard. Like, please. That's just, this is your job. Like the people saying,
So where's that come
the
from?
off-season is too hard. I actually asked him, and I was on stage, and I said, now, Madge, did you train these boys any harder than you have in previous years? And he said, actually, no. It was probably, I've trained other teams harder.
Wow. Wouldn't this be good theatre? You know how they do all social media and, you and I want to see the player who gets dropped filmed, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mum and Dad, guess what? I just got dropped, right? We want to see that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be good if the Broncos, to squash rumours, or quash rumours as some people say, to film it, Madge addressing the players, g'day boys, just addressing the media, no name has been attached to any of this, but here's your chance right now. Does anyone in the room think we're training too hard?
Yeah.
Put your hand up right
Yeah.
now. No one puts their hand up. And then send that out.
Well,
Would that send a statement or not?
They're saying the session goes too long. That's what we're hearing.
All of that. Just say, guys,
But-
does it go too long? Do we train you too hard? Put your hand up if that's the case. And if you don't put your hand up, well, then you're the coward for not coming forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, let's march on and win this comp.
But the thing is, right, coaches, it's their job to get you prepared for the weekend. That's their job.
Yep.
Right? So if it's fitness, it is. That's what you got to do. If it's tackling practice, that's their job. There is no way in the world there's any rugby league teams that I've ever been involved with that you train too hard.
No.
The game is so taxing on your body.
What was that saying that you invented? All ships what? What are the ships?
Rise with the tide.
All ships rise with the tide, right? So for me, anytime you confront this situation, it's the leadership group. It's a weak leadership group. And that would have been the case with Kevy as well, with his team. Whenever you run into this sort of caper, well, you hear from Cameron Smith and Billy Slater, and they train hard every single session.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a disconnect between a coach who wants to train hard and a playing group who may not, it is the leadership group.
Yes, we call, we're going to call them the union delegates. That's their
union
job.
delegates.
So you got your delegates, and you go up to management, as you like to say, and if you've got a few issues, that's when you do. You would pass them across. But
Correct.
I do agree with maybe the leadership group isn't in sync with each other.
No.
Just by the way they played the other day.
Yep.
Like, fitness is not an issue.
Madge has won a comp, and majority of those players, not named Adam Reynolds, anyone else? None of the others have won a comp.
No, they could have. A lot of them could have.
Yeah.
2
a lot
years
of them
ago,
could
3
have.
years ago.
A lot of them could have. What do you think make of the booze, by the way?
He's going to cop it. That's it.
For how long?
I think it'll be the rest of the year because he's going to be playing.
You know what his saving grace is?
Because everyone's talking about it, and
Yes.
so other clubs are going to jump on board.
Okay.
Other supporters are going to jump on
His
board.
saving grace is the Broncos have got 3 straight home games.
Yep.
Is that enough time? He's not going to cop that at home, right? So is that enough time for the next home game or next away game for that to be gone.
But why don't you harness that? Why don't you harness that energy, right? The boys all get together and say, look, Ezra, he's our teammate. He's getting booed. Let's feed off this. You know, they've got to look for little like tricks and little themes every week. This might be used to their advantage.
Okay. Okay, so final say on this game, Brian.
Final say on this game.
Of these two teams.
I just want to talk about Lehigh Hopewati.
Oh.
He is way too good, and it's clearly evident he needs to be around the ball because things happen. He is too valuable to this team to be playing on the wing. Now, I know Tommy is a terrific fullback.
What number when he comes back? Please say 3 or 4.
He has to. He has to.
Yep.
He has to be in the centres
Yep.
to get this kid, or maybe you could do the hybrid throughout.
Yep.
Things happen around this bloke. You can just tell that if they don't use him at fullback and he plays on the wing, there's clubs out there who are going to snap him up. What would he be on? He's a winger. He signed a 3-year deal. I can't see him being on more than 500 because they signed him as a winger.
Maybe less, really.
Or maybe less.
Because he could have been signed for 1.2 for 3 and played a handful of games.
Yeah, whatever
which
it
would have been a
is,
big contract then.
Whatever, and because he can handle wing, and I know he's doing that, but he's signed for he's got 3 more years there.
I know.
He cannot play on the wing. If he's still on the wing in 3 years' time, it's his management. I would expect him looking elsewhere because he's costing himself another 500 grand a year.
What do they need? In fact, you know what? With June 30 coming up, what does your team need to win this comp? What do Manly need? There's enough stars and firepower. What do they actually
Consistency?
need? No, but is there a player that you could pinch from somewhere else?
I think they've got the players. Maybe another big bopper.
This is a very gettable year. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
It's a very gettable year.
Do you feel... I mean, I was very bullish on... I'm still very bullish on
Storm?
Melbourne.
Yeah.
And the Storm, but do you think like a Raiders could win?
Of course they could.
Someone's going to jump out of the...
Sharks could win.
Sharks
They could.
Yeah.
They could.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Canterbury, obviously. But there was... Yeah, I feel...
Can Warriors win?
Warriors can win.
Yes.
Warriors can win the comp.
So it's not often where you get halfway through the comp and you can say 6 or 7 teams could win. We're not saying we'll win.
Yeah,
could win. So Warriors could, Sharks could.
I'll say 4.
Can Panthers win?
No. Panthers won't make the 8.
Can the Broncos win?
No.
No.
No. Broncos can't win.
Okay. All right.
Well, you think the Broncos can win?
I think Panthers and Bronx could win.
Panthers can't make the
could.
8.
I'm not saying they will. I'm saying both those teams.
You've got to be in the 8 first.
If they caught fire, could win the comp.
No. I don't think the Panthers will make the 8. Didn't I crow that last week? I think I crowed
Could
that.
the Cowboys win or not?
No.
No. Not if they caught fire? No.
Defensive teams, you can't all of a sudden just pick up your defence halfway through the year.
It's one of those years. Panthers 18 defeat the Eels 10. Nathan Cleary. And Moses gave him great kudos after the game as well. Parramatta, they've improved, Brian. They have improved, and the Fox is back.
Yeah.
He's back.
Fox looks good. They it was a terrific game.
Yeah.
Parramatta throwing the ball around. Their attack was... I know they only scored the 10 points, but they do look good coming out of trouble.
Yep.
Don't they?
Lomax is a gun. Moses is a gun.
They get to the 40-metre line. Junior Barlow's just bringing forwards under. Yep. That's the Rolsey effect.
It is. Yep. No, he's doing a good job. No doubt about that. And that's a good way to show what your worth is as a coach. Dragons 20 defeat the Knights 6. What a bludger. What a bludger. Geez, Knights can turn a game into an ordinary game, can't they?
Yeah, this wasn't.
You know what the Knights need to do? I'll tell you what the Knights need to do. How often have we seen when the game's on the line and you're chasing points and somebody kicks off and you've got a minute to try and win the game? And almost every time they make it up to the other end.
Yeah.
The Knights have to pretend they're down by 30 from kickoff. You got to. That's what the Tigers did. Tigers were going like a busted. They were trying to play like Panthers.
Yeah.
And with all those ex-Panthers, they're trying to play like Panthers. And they're not going to win the grind, so they're taking on the Cowboys. SHIT hits the fan. Then they start to play a bit of footy, and then they rattle home. Just rattle home from the start.
Yeah, but the Cowboys had clocked off.
Yeah, but also, but they scored one try where it went through about 10 or 12 hands.
Yeah.
And all it was,
try?
Yeah, all it was if you can pass it, pass it.
Yeah.
And that's what I say to kids. If you can pass, pass. Like, you'd have to reinvent the wheel. Every pass was safe, and they just passed. So often you see players take tackles when a pass was on. Newcastle, if you can pass, pass. I'd be going through a video with Newcastle saying, could you have passed here? Yeah, you could have. Well, why didn't you? Could you have passed here? Yes, I could have. So why didn't you? Just pass. If you can pass safely, pass.
Some players don't have the confidence to do that.
Confidence to pass in first grade.
Well, they do because the coach, they say to them, your role is do not pass it.
Well, that's his role, the coach, to say start passing it. Because what you're doing,
that's what you just said.
You're watching paint dry. They are one of the most boring sides that I've watched in pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
They are a boring side.
They are. They just go through the motion. I wonder what Chrissy Fagan would do.
Oh, what would Chrissy Fagan do? No Leo Thompson too, by the way. And a shout-out to Loco Pacifica Tonga.
Oh, he was enormous. He only played 20 minutes or something, but I was shocked when I looked at his stats. He only played for 20 minutes, but it seemed like that it was jam-packed, these 20 minutes.
Mate, he's a beauty. Haven't we got some great forwards coming through?
Yep.
Talented forwards.
Yeah.
Leka Halasima, Pacifici, Loco.
Imperial.
Imperial
leather. He's a gun.
Oh, he's a gun.
You know who's sneaky good too? And I know he's been injured. Well, he's not sneaky good. He's already represented New Zealand. Nafahu White.
He's a gun.
He is a terrific, terrific player. What are you laughing at, Tourist?
They missed him against Canberra, didn't they?
Complete your sets, kick long, and when you're in the lead, and you win the game.
Yep.
Don't drop the ball down your end.
Let's do what the tourist wants. Cowboys 32 defeat the West Tigers 28, Brian. In fact, Cowboys defeat who, tourist?
West Tigers.
Correct.
Yeah, Cowboys were they put about 20 points on them when they were down to 12 men. The Jerome Luai, I thought that was a bit harsh.
Harsh.
Don't you
the
reckon?
10 in the bin?
Yeah, and well, the reasoning they gave, they said you've done it 3 times.
Yep.
And in the rules, it says you can't do it. But the second one, I thought that was a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
And the Dewey one, also harsh. But in saying that, that's sort of been their Achilles heel.
Are you with me, Brian, if you can pass? Like, we are not going to, when I say we, West Tigers, are not going to outgrind teams like the Panthers in the past.
Yes.
So we have to do something different.
Correct.
Do you understand that?
No, I do understand.
A poor imitation is not going to get you to the nation.
Yep. And there was a couple of tries that they did do pass, and I feel that
Beautiful.
was very much Jerome Luai talking about what Penrith used to do.
Loose,
The 20
test,
touches,
test.
20 touches.
Correct.
You got to try and score, otherwise you can't get a Hooters after training.
That's exactly right. So how do we read into the Cowboys' performance, Brian? Because on paper, this is one of those competitions up for grabs. On paper, Nanai.
Yeah.
Din.
Yeah.
Drinky.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing?
I don't know. I don't think they. I don't.
Cotter.
Yeah. I don't think they've got the
Robson.
patience. Don't think they've got the patience to win a comp. I just feel they're not patient enough. You know, you need to be able to kick to the corners. It's boring, and you got to keep doing it and keep doing it. I don't think they've got that mentality yet. Young halves.
Yep.
Drinky at the back. He's exciting. He's an attacking player. Sometimes you just got to put your you leave your gun in the holster.
Yeah. So I want the gun out of the holster for the Tigers, but in the holster sometimes for the Cowboys.
Well, you have to, if you want to win this competition, you've got to learn to be.
Yeah.
When you play those good teams, you're not going to have that chance to do what you're saying.
What about the Melbourne Storm, Brian? 28-16, not a great performance, a wet Seabar Super Stadium, but doesn't matter. They don't draw pitches on the premiership ladder. 2 points are 2 points. And they've done this for so long, haven't they? They've had a superstar kid in the wings, whether it's Nico Hines, whether it's a Ryan Pappenhausen, whether it's a Jerome Hughes back in the day, and now it's a Suafalongo, who's just finding his way into the side, and every time he's in the side, he puts his fingerprints all over the game.
Yep. No, it wasn't a great game from. We discussed this last week. They don't like the wet too much. No. They got the cash, but the decision not to give Sam Verrills that try, I still don't understand it.
No.
So the bunker took it off him.
Obstruction.
The referee said yes, it's a try.
Yep.
He what wasn't instructing. He said they burrowed.
Yeah.
That was the words we used. He didn't burrow. He just went to the left. Didn't go
to the left.
He was Beyonce. He's got to go. And that was a turning point. They were coming to get him. But in the end, the Storm get the job done. He's unheralded, isn't he?
Oh,
Grant.
Unheralded.
Anderson, sorry.
Yeah.
Grant Anderson.
Grant Anderson.
Grant Anderson.
It's amazing how he's going to find. They'll find a way. I think Howard's back playing in the centres. Yeah, Brian, some unfortunate news coming through for the Blues. Warriors and David Riccio reporting that the Warriors have suffered a devastating blow, with scans confirming that co-captain Mitchell Barnett has suffered a torn ACL. So what a week it's been from the highs of a terrific game there in Origin on Wednesday night to backing up for his team, and then the shattering injuries, a double blow with Barnett, also ruled out, obviously, for New South Wales. He started game 1 for the Blues. Huge performance, 110 metres, 41 minutes of the game, 26 tackles in that inferno. You got a feel for him.
Deborah Lee.
Yes, in the Deborah Lee, yeah, the furnace, correct. Yeah, what a bugger.
Bugger for the Warriors too.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a cruel game, this. But now we've got to look. Now we've got to look forward to game 2. So does Stefano jump in? Stefano was on. He was on standby for Payne Haas.
And they said if Payne Haas was out, he'd go straight to the starting side.
Yeah. So I feel that Stefano will go in, and then maybe Kalamatangi, Terrell May. Well, I don't think he's going to pick Terrell. So it looks like Kalamatangi would come in with Ola Kawatu, who's already in the squad. He'll be in the 20.
Yes.
You think that?
I think so, yeah. A lot of people saying that Kalamatangi would be a no-brainer to come in. Just quickly how people change their mind, isn't it?
To start. He has been a revelation going into the middle.
But what I'm saying is after New South Wales have won and Kalamatangi has a cracking game on the weekend and Terrell May be a bit quieter than normal, and then all of a sudden people are saying, Kalamatangi's got to be. We're so reactionary, aren't we?
Yeah, but Stefano will start. He'll be in the 17.
Yep.
I think they'll just get Kalamatangi or May in just as standby.
Oh, Brian, I haven't heard the Bish for a while. And Sattler come in. How are you guys?
Talk about put a
Good
fork
afternoon.
in it.
Yeah. Did you like that? Did you listen to that?
We're hungry.
Yeah.
I did like the Kipler potato.
Kipfler.
Potato tip.
Yes, you need the skin.
Brian,
you need the
yes.
skin on it. But I can tell you, it is so good.
Brian, I'll tell you what else is going off for me at the moment in terms of food. I've got some cafes on construction sites across Queensland, and the old burgers, the buns that you use, for the bacon and egg roll. Well, the next day I hold them off the ones that are left over, and rather than turf them out, use some of them in the Caesar salad, chop them up in the Caesar salad. But I get them and I put spag bowl. I get the bun, gut them like a cob.
Yes.
And put spag bowl, so spaghetti and spaghetti bolognese in it. Yeah. And at 10 o'clock smoko the following day, they are running out the door.
Oh.
Double carb, Brian, you can't beat it.
What are you selling them for?
$6.50.
Nice. Yeah.
$6.50.
You probably get
bit of profit.
You probably get $9.50.
How do they pay?
Well, probably would, but.
Shell, what's the
cash?
pie chart on the build? Yeah, cash.
Cash.
Yeah, cash.
Cash, mate.
On the building site, Brian.
I tell you what, the Chico roll too is still really popular.
I can't believe they're still popular, Chico rolls.
You know what? It amazes
Can't
me
eat them.
because the younger guys go, "What is that?" And the people that are new to the country that are working here come and bring it back and say, "There's no chicken in it."
Oh yeah. Well, so I played golf with the guy who works for them, Chico Rolls. I've said this before. I've put it towards the boys. How many Chico rolls do you reckon they sell in Australia annually?
It's ridiculous.
Annually, I'm going to say 3.5 million.
Bish?
Oh, much more than that. And you know what? In the early 70s, 80s, it was like 20 million. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're still popular.
11.
I'm talking...
11 million.
11 million. And remember the girl, Sarah Jane, who was the model for the Chico Rolls? She was on a motorbike and she had Daisy Dukes on. And she also had a top on, and it was tied. And it was,
Brian, you know all this.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hot box special at my joint. Anyway.
Sorry?
5:30 a.m. and
they're so good. They are so good.
5:30 a.m.
Hey, Joel and Fletch, I'm looking across at the Bish now, and sitting in front of her is an Orchie bottle. What do you think of when you think Orchie bottle?
Yeah, and a hose.
It's not empty.
And a hose.
Will be tonight.
You're just punching hot ones. Hey,
what's going on at Sports Day, Brian?
Yeah. When Rat's away, the mice will play. Okay, I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
So I went to an Indian restaurant the other day. And there was Caucasians in there, but a lot of Indians as well.
Yep.
Isn't that a good thing?
That's a great thing.
If
But
it's
I want to know.
Chinese, it's a lot of,
I want to know if our listeners are out there, if you are from Chinese descent or Indian descent. Where is your go-to other than your own cuisine? You know, like when we sit down, we go, I feel like Indian tonight. I feel like Chinese tonight. I feel like Thai. Anyone from another nationality, what do you like ripping into? I feel like, what is our equivalent for, like, if you say, I'm going to go out for an Aussie feed, is it a schnitzel? A schnitzel and
Is it
chips?
embarrassing we don't have that answer?
It is.
Isn't schnitzel like German or something?
Yeah. Dunker.
So ours is just a rump steak.
A steak, a pie.
Yeah.
Pie.
A
A
pie.
pie, can of Coke.
No, pie, definitely.
If you are...
We eat anything, but Aussies just eat anything, but don't we? We don't care about the other
I'm
cuisine.
convinced after
We just
seeing
go
what
in.
these boys eat at 5:30 in
Yeah.
the morning. That hot box is disgusting.
Yeah. It would
And
be.
chocolate milk.
Oh, I love chocolate milk.
No,
So
I
much
can't get
sugar in
around that.
A Chico roll and chocolate milk.
Oh, that's heaven.
After a surf.
Now,
yeah.
Bish, you're very close. Well, you've got a good contact with the great Gus Gould. How have you seen this all play out the last couple of weeks?
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like when is anyone just going to follow the ball? Look, I think
It's the
he's
most
been-
uneasy I've seen him in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no,
I thought he handled
it.
himself well, but at the end of it, I thought he rattled. Mick Shamus rattled him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've rattled him now and then too, so don't worry about that.
But do you feel like, so they honestly feel, and everyone does feel this, that they are a premiership contender, but behind closed doors they've gone, okay, like we could regret not having that extra piece. Like we are so close to winning this competition. Very few times you get yourself in this situation. There's no guarantee of tomorrow of being in this situation. We need to act now. Is that what you feel?
No, I think that I'd more take Gus Gould out of the equation. I know that sounds really weird, but knowing Cam Seraldo, actually caught up with Cam at Phil's at Gus's
Bruce.
Heavy
dinner
Bruce.
that we had.
Brucing.
I
Heavy
did. I
Bruce.
sat next to Cam.
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah.
journos
And I just-
they're allowed to Bruce because it's part of
Are
the,
they? Okay,
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
yeah, play on.
And it reminded me of just how calm and premeditated Cam Seraldo is. He's the ultimate professional. And just talking about the season, obviously Galvin hadn't even entered the equation there in terms of our conversation, but I just felt comfortable.
Do you think rugby league fans would have accepted it more if Gus just come out and said, you know what, if he's available and he's on the market, I'm going heavy for him.
Yeah,
Yep.
but didn't he
Yep.
sort of
when you get him, you go, you know what, we got our man, we're always going to get him, and this adds to our.
But you don't want to
piecing
go,
our puzzle.
but Satch, you don't want to go heavy for him because then the managers are going, well, hang
Come on.
on, we can go, we
Yeah.
can pay overs here.
Yeah.
He's the best chess player in the world. You'll never beat him unless you're a bishop.
Oh, yes,
Boom.
that is definitely a Bruce. Bruce,
It is.
Hey,
yeah, it's a Bruce.
Can I bring up an A grade?
For sure.
So my son-in-law, he works up in the mines in Cloncurry, and he
Yeah.
comes down for the week off, and he goes and plays golf the other day by himself, just 9 holes. He said, I shot 39. I went, 39? He goes, yeah, I couldn't play the last 2 holes because there was too many groups lined up. So I played 7, and then I just gave myself a bogey on the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah,
Cool story, Hansel.
no,
Thanks, Olaf.
no. That was,
who-
hey, by the
who
way,
pressed that?
by the way, Bish and Sats, that's tourist.
Yeah,
and
he's off the bit.
He's bullying because he's getting married now and he feels comfortable here. Yeah, you wait, tourist, until I find out where you're hiding all your drugs. What were we discussing?
You can't
You
give yourself a score, can you?
I don't mind that.
No, DQ.
What?
DQ, you've disqualified.
Yeah,
I
disqualified.
can't believe we've spoken this long and we haven't mentioned the green machine.
Hang on.
Hello.
So he put himself down for 39.
He put himself for 39, which he'd never shoot 39. But
Yeah.
So
the
what's
last 2
been on?
holes,
Yeah, but
He
he
just
must have
said
been
bogey,
shooting them
bogey.
well.
yeah. So he said,
So he
I'll
can
give myself
play?
a bogey.
He can play? Like he's a regular
He's a hacker.
player? Yeah, he's a
He's
hacker.
okay. At least I'll just give myself a bogey the last 2 holes because that's what I would have got.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
And
but he might be a Russell Packer, but it sounds like that he was
Don't let him get married.
after 7 holes. Like what were the last 2 holes? Like a par 3 and a par 4 or something.
2 par 4s.
2 par 4s. So he was he was 27 after 7 holes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
My late father-in-law, when I first started
Yep.
dating Brit,
Yep.
playing golf, and he said, basically, if you cheat at golf and you don't finish,
I don't think that's cheating.
you cheat. No, I'm just saying. This
Yeah.
was quite wise words. You cheat at life.
I agree
A
with
lot
that.
of people, and I've put that correlation together. And some people I know who cheat at golf.
You know what?
A
That
cheating
is
at
so
life.
true.
Brian, you
That
don't know
is really
anyone
true.
who's
Yes, I
like.
do.
I cheat.
If somebody had been the club champion 3 out of 4 years, they may be a cheater, right? And may call in sick on a day like today. But I couldn't see that happening.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not talking about this man. But
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to talk about Rat. Where is the Rat?
No one knows.
Well, I think a cat will have sex with any other type of cat.
No, every time I'm
Oh,
on.
he sent a
Every
text
time.
message to our WhatsApp group this morning saying, "Hey guys, I'm really crook," and actually put the cough emoji. I went, "Oh."
Yeah.
There you
No
go.
one
No,
sick
I've-
enough would find the cough emoji.
Yeah.
That is
Exactly.
guilty.
Hey, let's
True,
talk about Queensland Origin. So, Michelle, you're just going to be a Queenslander because we're talking to you.
No, there's nothing better at the moment than living
Yeah,
in the
okay.
heart of Queensland, being a Blues supporter, and the Raiders beating the Roosters when your husband supports the Roosters. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Life's good.
Yeah, the referee cheated. So.
We got Loz on tonight.
It is cheating. It is cheating. I just better get out of that because I went to that meeting. You can't say the referee's a cheat. That's
Okay,
defamation.
yep.
He's not a cheat. I
Defamation.
retract that. Changes to the Queensland side. Harry Knuckles.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I don't know. Maybe Cohen Hess, big mobile front row. Maybe
Cohen Hess
I
is
think
a
Tommy did.
legend.
Hey, there's this guy called Corey Horsburgh.
Yeah, Corey
Yeah.
Horsburgh. I'm led to believe they're a little bit concerned that he just doesn't just jam into the line, like he jumps around a little bit. And
Yeah, but they
sort of-
need something. They need something.
I
a
know
little bit
something
different.
different. I think Daly Cherry Evans will retain 7,
Yes.
but if they're not after about 25 minutes, if they're not,
What happened to Pick and Stick?
yeah, but
Just saying.
I reckon if after 25 they'll pull the trigger and say, Tommy, you're on, and Daly, you're just going to play that 14 utility role. So
Okay.
What about Cotter? Like, boys, this is more your forte than mine. Cotter on the edge. Do we like that or not?
no, don't like
no.
it. Don't like it. I think I'll go Beau Fermor on an edge, or maybe
start him.
Jaden Sewell got injured, but you got Finney Fuiaki, a big mobile back rower as well.
Mate, he
I think
got
there's a number of
Ruben
players.
Cotter got man of the series. I think he won Wally Lewis medal.
About 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
but playing at lock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
put not Payne Haas, Carrigan up front.
Yep.
And off we go.
Yeah, I think that's right. But we
And
don't need to give him any
Tino.
clues, Brian.
Tino
I
up
think
front.
it'd be Lindsay, Tino, and Paddy at 13. I reckon Cotter will come off the bench.
Now, what do you think? Lindsay's going good enough to start in the Origin?
No, but I just think it was very noticeable there live last Wednesday night when you looked at both the sides during the national anthem. The size was ridiculous.
Do you reckon that they'll be really panicking as much as we're sort of making out,
Who?
though? The Queenslanders?
No,
not at all.
no.
Hey, you know what the big topic was today, though? Wayne's whinging, and that was the Origin. Should it be played? When
Schedule.
it should be played? The schedule.
Get it over and done in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. Look, I get it. It'd be great, but that's a perfect world. But I just think it might be too much on those particular players.
Nah,
He also
there's
said
more
that
on
whoever
now,
wins-
Michelle, I reckon. And we've got enough content to carry it through with NRLW. You could chime in there. You've got the maybe Tonga versus New Zealand or Tonga versus Samoa. It just kills the comp. Seriously, it kills
I
the comp.
understand it has a massive impact on the comp, especially with a year like the way this is panning out. Like, so that anyone can be there in the end at the moment. It's such an open competition, but I get that. But I'm just not sure what the answer is. And I think definitely the back end of the year.
Sorry,
the back end of the year, it's a no go because of rep footy.
Sorry, Michelle. This is going to come across my desk. A hero tradie. He helped save a Gold Coast brothel following an alleged arson attack. A hero tradie is being hailed for saving a Gold Coast poly following an alleged attempted arson attack. Police have confirmed they were called to a business on Jade Drive. How do I pronounce this? Is it Molendina?
Mollendina. J Drive would be the
J Drive
Pentagon Grand, I reckon.
He knows it well, doesn't he?
You've staked out. You've had a few stakeouts there.
Well, the owner of the Pentagon Grand was wanted to be a sponsor of the Titans, and
that
I've told you
would've
the
gone
story.
down well.
He wanted to do one room, which was just like Titans memorabilia, and the lady
Is that
would
similar
dress up
to
in
what
a
the
Titans
Sharks had with
jersey.
their?
We said, no, it can't happen.
Well, you go into a room
Yeah.
and you fill out your fantasies of being a John Cartwright supporter. Or a Philip Cotomides.
William Zillman.
Anyway, let's get to this. It is understood, it is understood a waste bin full of condoms was set alight in an outdoor area of the business with a
Would they
disgruntled...
burn?
Well, a disgruntled former worker allegedly behind the
Google
attack.
that.
Fortunately, the fire was contained in the bin with a quick-thinking tradie that was apparently just working next door. What a coincidence that there was it would be a Sparky for sure. No one was injured
plumber.
and no complaint has been made by the business owner. However, police are looking into it. Do you know the area well? And do condoms, are they flammable?
Yeah, yes. Here, I've just
Really?
asked Sarah. Yes, a used a used condom is burnable.
Michelle.
Condoms
goodness.
are typically
Burnable.
made
Whoa,
from
whoa, whoa.
materials like natural rubber, latex, or polyurethane, both of which are combustible.
Do you think that
There you go.
excuse? Do you think that excuse from the tradies that's washing at home?
That was Bish's wife.
Do you think it's
Wouldn't it, my
did
joint?
it pass the pub test at home or not?
No.
Oh, no,
He
I'm
wouldn't
not quite
pass the letterbox.
Have you, Michelle, have you told Brian the story where you were doing a selfie?
Oh. No, I don't think I have. Don't think I want to.
Okay.
Tell me.
No.
Is this your son?
No,
Oh.
no, not that one. Please
Okay.
don't bring that one up, guys.
Hang
It's
on.
really
All
bad.
right.
I
till
need to know this.
Nah, till next
This
time.
was the wine one. Yeah,
Yes,
you're probably
correct,
going to run out
Rhonda.
of time.
What happened? Just
Yeah.
give me just bullet
Really,
points.
really quickly,
Yes,
some
please.
people in the Hunter Valley sent me a bottle of 12 bottles of red wine for Christmas,
Bruce.
and I said, yes, thank you. How do I thank them? So I thought, just had the bathroom done, beautiful bath, all this, candlelit, the whole lot, poured the red wine, sat it up on the bath thing, was enjoying reading, and took a photo, put it out there on my social media. Next minute, the door was banging down. My kids are going, Mum, Mum. And I'm like, pretending I don't hear them. Text messages left, right, and centre. My phone was going off, but it was just out of reach, so I didn't grab it until one of my sons screamed and said, Mum, you're naked. I was like,
Reflection.
what?
Oh.
The reflection in the glass.
And it
yeah.
went out
It was
went out in the
awful.
wild?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't it ever what?
How many more followers did you get?
Dirtbags.
I could name a few too.
Oh, okay. What's your handle, Michelle? Just out of interest.
Good on
DM
you
you
guys.
later.
Have a great show.
See you, legends.
There we go.
See you guys.
Our next guest was named as, so they do these breaking news for MND, the Big Slide, the Big Freeze 11 it
Yes.
is, the Big Freeze 11. Our next guest was named as the fourth slider. Usually likes to open.
I was about to say.
I know.
So his second drop.
His second drop. But that won't stop him. Mark Taylor, welcome to the run home.
Good afternoon, gents. I wish I was 12th man, I can tell you that. It looks a bit cold.
Hey, Tubby, do you like? I mean, everyone now seems to be doing these cold plunges, for recovery and stuff like that. Do you like the cold? Do you like an ice bath?
I absolutely despise an ice bath, I've got to say. Going back to my playing days, Fletch, it was one of the reasons that I retired when I did, because they started to bring all that stuff in, where you had to sort of watch your diet a lot more. You couldn't have a beer straight after the game. They took blood out of your arm after you made a few runs. Then they made you jump in this ice bath, and I thought, well, it's time for me to go. And now, some 30 years later, I'm now doing it again. I must be a fool, I think.
Now, it's a great cause, Tubby. Fight MND, the Big Freeze 11. It's a bloody vicious bastard of a thing, isn't it, Brian, this thing? But it's a great cause, and we're trying to find a way. You must be looking forward. You must be very proud that you get to represent on this day.
Oh, I am, and that's obviously the reason you do it. As I said, I'm not, as I said a moment ago, certainly not looking forward to freezing when I plunge into that pool. But I've sort of known the Danaher family for quite a while. Not that well, to be totally honest, but we came from a similar area in regional New South Wales. Neil and his brothers that were born in West Wyalong, where I lived for a couple of years when I was a very young lad. So I've always felt I've known them, even though I didn't really meet them until about 7 or 8 years ago. I was asked to do this plunge, I think about that time, and I was overseas at the time, so I was thinking I was rather fortunate to get away with it. But I was in Canberra earlier this year when Neil was named Australian of the Year, and I think there wasn't a dry eye in the house when that happened. And Beck approached me, asked me to do it again, and I just said I'd love to, because if it means raising money for a great cause, I've actually known a few guys, a couple of mates who have passed away from this insidious disease. So it's my way of just doing a little bit to help the cause, because it's certainly a very worthwhile one.
Yeah, well done, Tubby. Already a lot of texts coming through saying, well, how do we get around this? Not everyone can slide down there at the MCG. Well, beanies are available now. Coles, Bunnings, Shell Ready Express, or online at fightmnd.org.au. And we'll keep sharing that throughout the program, by the way. So it's fightmnd.org.au. You can get yourself one. And for Queenslanders, you may not need a beanie at this time of the year. There's caps available. And be bold and wear blue, which is the case for even the Queenslanders will get around wearing blue, Brian, because fightmnd.org.au, we can all get around to that. Let's get around to some cricket, Tubby. Now, Brian and I have been sort of talking around this World Test Championship, and who would be the opening batsman? Who should be that pair? Where do you land?
Well, I've got to say I'm probably like a few selectors at the moment. I'm sort of sitting on the fence. So I'd love to see Sam Constas get another opportunity, and I think that will happen in probably the next few months. But I don't think it'll happen at Lords for that World Test Championship. I suspect Australia might go for what they think is their 6 most experienced batters, and that would mean in my side, Labuschagne moves up to open the batting. And Cameron Green, who's back in a bit of form, has made a few county hundreds in recent times over there. He would come back into the side, which means Bo Webster holds his spot. Alex Carey's at 7. Obviously, Travis Head's in there, but Sam Constas doesn't get back in the team. I reckon they might save him for the West Indies tour, which is just after the World Test Championship. Maybe put him back in there to open the batting with Khawaja, and then slowly but surely form a partnership, which will hopefully take us through the Ashes later this year.
Is he Tubby, is Sam Constas, do you feel, because a lot of people are saying that his technique isn't up for Test cricket, but you seem to disagree with that?
Well, I think if you look at Sam, the way he batted in that Test match at the MCG, the Boxing Day Test, everyone's sort of basing their opinion on Sam Constas on that innings. And that's not how Sam Constas bats. He's got through to the Australian cricket team by playing in a far more orthodox way. Now, look, I haven't seen much more of Sam Constas than a lot of people, but he has made runs at just about every level of cricket, and I mean hundreds at every level of cricket he's played, state cricket, junior cricket, and then he gets into the Australian side, comes up against Bumrah, who's bowling superbly, and thinks, well, if I just hang around here, I'm going to get out. So he tries something, which I dare say he's probably hardly tried before. And he gets away with it and scores with 60. But now I think he's got to go back and show us the real Sam Constas, the guy who got into the Australian team in a far more orthodox way. And I think that's what he will try and do over the next 6 months, a year of his Test career.
Australia, Brian, taking on the Proteas. And the old saying goes, my enemy's enemy is my friend. And Stuart Broad, Tubby, has joined the Proteas.
Oh, no.
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think that's just pure for aggravation, I reckon. I think he's going to be there. So he can walk around at Lords and the Australians will see him. I reckon it might even fire up the Aussies even more.
Yeah.
That could backfire on them, that.
Is he going to wear that stupid headband he wears? Because I hope he does.
I dare say he'll wear anything that he thinks will annoy the Australians, Stuart Broad. He's actually a very likeable lad, but he's one of those rogue-type characters that if he can see an opportunity to give an opposition the dirts, he'll grab it. And I reckon he's jumped at this opportunity and thought, wow, this is another way I can just rub it into the Aussies a bit more.
Tubby, was his old man the same way?
No, Chris. I played against Chris Broad, opening bat.
Yeah.
Chris, much quieter. You've got opening bat compared to opening bowler. You've got two very different personalities there. Chris was more quieter, far more reserved, whereas Stuart, far more outgoing. But as I said, both very likeable gentlemen in their own way.
Okay, well, someone who's very likeable is Shane Flanagan. Have you got hopes for your Dragons might make the 8 this year, Tubby?
Oh, it'd be nice. Look, I've sort of been watching the Dragons very closely, particularly the last couple of years, and there's no doubt they're building. They are building. They're building, I think, a really good team culture. This year, I've just about watched every game, and at times, like most Dragon supporters, yes, I've been disappointed, but one thing I've loved about us this year, we've been in every game. I think we've played about 11 games now. Apart from Anzac Day, we've been at a chance of winning every game. So I love that. I love that we're competing well. And I think if we get a few of those closer results go our way, we can certainly make the 8, which would be outstanding. So
we're chatting to Mark Taylor, Australian icon of sport in the world, really. But you're a fan also. Brian mentioned the Dragons. Who's your favourite player? Have you got a favourite Dragon?
Oh, wow. Now, that's hard.
What about an all-time Dragon?
Oh, yeah. Well, the all-time Dragon would have to be, well, there's a couple. I'd have to go back to the good old days, the the Reg Gasnier, Graham Langlands, those sorts of days when I first started watching the Dragons back in the 70s, 1970s. I've got a good mate now who I just spent the weekend with trying a few wines, Mark Coyne, who's a terrific bloke, former captain Coyne. The only problem with Coyne is he's a Queenslander,
Correct.
so he keeps telling me about that bloody try he scored years ago. He goes on and on about that all the time. So I get on very well with Coyne. So they're probably my favourite Dragons.
Tubby, do you do any coaching? Or have you got any ambition to be involved?
Not really, no. I've in my time as a post-cricketing days, I've been an administrator. I spent many years on the boards of Cricket New South Wales and Cricket Australia. Obviously commentated for, over 20 years and still doing bits here and there. So I think any chance I had of coaching probably went years ago. I enjoy passing on my thoughts on the game, and I've done a little bit of individual coaching with a few people, but no, I don't know if I could sit around in a change rooms all day and watch 5 days of a test match. I think I'd probably go mad in that time.
You could have a beer, I suppose. You could have a drink if you're not going out there. I mean, your stablemate there on a Sunday, Brad Fittler, used to do that. How was it working with Freddie?
Well, I only see Freddie obviously very quickly on a Sunday when he pops in and does the Wide World of Sport show before he does the rugby league show. I've always got on very well with Freddie, and he keeps a close eye on my Dragons too. He always knows where the Dragons going. So I like Freddie. He's got a bit of a soft spot, I reckon, for the Dragons.
No, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to buddy you up because he wants an air conditioner. He wants a Fujitsu.
Yeah, that'd be probably right.
How many you got in your house? Have you got one in every room, and have you got one in your Brasco?
The house is made of just air conditioning units.
Mate, it's constructed right through the house. Of course I've got one.
They are. I got one. I got one, Tubby. They're very good.
Hey,
Very,
Tubby,
very
we
good.
must go. We must let you go more to the point. But news in the last hour or so, Glenn Maxwell has retired from one-day international cricket to focus on Australia's campaign to win the T20 World Cup next year. So any comments on that?
Oh, Maxie, he's been a terrific player. So that'll be a bit of a hole to fill because there's no doubt, particularly white ball cricket, he's been outstanding, Maxie. Like he's one of those guys who can win you a game, bat, ball or field, as we saw in the World Cup, what was it, 2 years ago now in India, where that 200 he got against Afghanistan was just that's a one-off innings, that sort of stuff. So that's going to be a decent hole to fill for the Australian one-day team's point of view.
Tubby, I was at a trivia night the other night. One of the questions was, which batsman is the only person in Test cricket to get a score in the hundreds, 200s, 300s, 400s, and 500s? Do you know what that is, Sugar?
I'd say Lara.
Yeah, is that correct, Tubby?
That sounds about right. He got a 500 in a Warwickshire, I think, and a 400 for the West Indies. So, yeah, I think he'd be the only one.
He's the only one, yeah. I think I said Jacques Callis, but I remembered he did. Well, we needed to make up some. And I had a few. I'd had a few pilsners too. So I was. But yeah, you're correct. That was the quiz.
Thank you.
Well done, Tubby.
Well done, Tubby.
You should commentate.
We'd love to get you back on again. You're working across the road here at Channel 9, so one day we'd love to get in studio.
Yes.
And we could do a real sit down with Tubby, couldn't we?
Well,
Bring Jack with you.
So Tubby, I played Causey Shield, and we got at the time the number one batsman in the world was Usman Khawaja, and I got him out in back-to-back balls.
Yeah, sorry to put
They
you through
cut me
that,
off,
Tubby.
Tubby. They cut me off. But
Sorry to put you through that, Tubby.
You wouldn't pick my wrong.
No, you wouldn't pick it. Well, we'll find out about that.
Straight through the gate.
No, well, if he's too good for Khawaja, he'd be too good for me.
Well, I'll tell you what Khawaja's not doing at this time is doing what you're doing, and get around fightmnd.org.au. We'll keep promoting it throughout the program. Beanie's available now at Coles, Bunnings, Shell Ready Express, or online, as I said, at fightmnd.org.au. And yes, folks, he sounds like a great bloke, doesn't he, Tubby Taylor? He's a bloody ripper. Good on you, Tubby. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, boys.
Defence Porker.
Oh.
Dean
No,
Boxall.
you're not apologising.
I'm apologising.
No.
I'm apologising for putting him in the A grade status when he's not an A grade.
What?
I listened to him on Friday.
Forgive me.
I was on a luncheon on Friday, and Dean Boxall was interviewed by nobody.
Oh, John Eales.
John Eales was there.
Yeah.
John Eales is an
Nobody's
alumni.
perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect suit, perfect tie he had on.
Yeah.
And he had Dean Boxall, and I was singing, and I was going, "Oh, here he is, Fence Porker. What's he going to do?" Well, then he explained the story about why he went so over the top.
why he porks
So
that
there's a
fence.
reason.
There's a reason why he did
No.
that. So the trainer of Katie Ledecky is, I don't know his name, but Brooksy might find it.
Is he the new A grade?
He's an A grade. So Ariane Titmus was always behind Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky was a gun. And he overheard this Seppo coach, as his words, not mine.
Anthony Nesty.
Anthony Nesty. He called him something else. He called him a wanker, actually. And the whole room just erupted. So they played the video of him coming out and porking the fence. But in the lead up to the fence porking act, the coach, what's his name?
Nesty.
So they're up on that other level. We know the level we're talking. There's not a crowd.
Yeah.
There's no one in the crowd.
Nest.
The cameras were coming in. And so Nesty, coming into the last 50 metres, Katie Ledecky's in front. But they had this race plan where that was exactly where they wanted to be because Ariane just storms home.
Yeah.
So he's just watching it from, there's no cameras, he can't see it. Then Nesty gets out because he knows.
He thinks it's his time.
He thinks he's going to win. So he walks out into the stage. Out into the upper deck, so the cameras will get him, just about to cheer.
The concourse.
The upper Ledecky.
You can then see our man, the Michael. I mean, it's now called A grades and BOXALLs.
Yeah.
And he's peering, right? And he just stands behind him and is like listening to him, but then watching the pool.
Really?
And then Ariane just storms home, and so he put it on over the top. Like he went over the top. He goes, I'm not going to let this stupid American get all. And I heard what he said. He said something in the dining room of the village, but we won't get into that, blah, 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 blah. And he just went berserk. So he said, I did it just to show this Seppo that you're his words, an F word.
Wow.
So he's not a, listen.
I can't believe
I'm taking
this.
it back. Play the song. I want to retract it. I've never retracted an A grade.
From Brian Fletcher to the box.
Dean Boxall, you, sir.
Look down the camera, Brian.
Dean Boxall, you, sir, are the Michael of Michaels. And he led up to what he did to find out about Katie Ledecky. Why was she so far ahead of Ariane? So he would stalk Ledecky during the lead up to the Olympic Games. Incognito, he would sit there, watch her swim. Incognito, what she ate. He goes, I got that close one day. I was looking at her emails.
What?
Yeah, he's a mad peerer.
Oh, forgive me.
Then he went back into camp. So he's a national treasure.
Oh, he's a national treasure.
Laurie Lawrence was the Mickey.
Wow.
I feel that he is going to be better than Laurie Lawrence.
Wow. Tourists, we need that, that reverse sound that you get? We need that for the Michael Monday and the A grade Monday for where you've changed tact, where you thought someone was an A grade who became a Michael, or conversely, a Michael who became an A grade. I think we need that.
Thanks for watching. For more great content, subscribe to SEN League, your home of